Tired of searching for the perfect outdoor dining table that doesn't break the bank? What if I told you that you could build this beautiful, sturdy, and stylish table yourself for a fraction of the cost using recycled pallets? Yes, this exact table. Stay with me, and I'll show you how to transform simple wooden pallets into the centerpiece of your garden or patio. It's easier than you think, and the result is absolutely worth it. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of my favorite DIY projects, creating a functional and gorgeous outdoor dining table from reclaimed pallet wood. This project is perfect for anyone who loves a good upcycling challenge and wants to add a personal, rustic touch to their outdoor space. We'll go through every single step, from picking the right pallets to applying the final protective coat. So, grab your notepad and let's get building. First things first, let's talk about materials. To get started, you'll need 2 or 3 sturdy pallets. Look for one stamped with HT, which means they're heat treated, not chemically treated, making them safe for furniture. You'll also need some 4x4 posts for the legs, or you can use thicker wood from the pallets themselves. For hardware, grab some 3-inch and 2-inch wood screws. Now for the tools. You'll need a crowbar or a pallet buster, a hammer, and a reciprocating saw if you have one. It makes taking pallets apart much easier. You'll also need a power drill, a sander with various grits of sandpaper, a tape measure, a pencil, and a level. For the finishing touches, you'll want exterior wood stain or paint, a clear outdoor sealant, and some paint brushes or rags. Don't forget your safety gear. Gloves and safety glasses are a must. Before we start building, preparation is key. The first step is to dismantle your pallets. This can be the most challenging part, so be patient. Use your crowbar and hammer to carefully pry the boards apart. Try not to split the wood. A good tip is to use the hammer to knock the blocks loose from the boards. If a nail is stubborn, a reciprocating saw with a metal cutting blade can slice right through it. Once you have a nice pile of reclaimed planks, inspect them. Discard any pieces that are badly cracked, warped, or showing signs of rot. We only want the best wood for our tabletop. Now we get to the fun part, making that rough wood smooth. Sanding is crucial for a professional finish and to avoid splinters. Start with a coarse sandpaper, maybe 60 or 80 grit, to remove any dirt, rough spots, and old markings. Then move to a medium 120 grit and finish with a fine 220 grit for a super smooth surface. Take your time with this step. The better your sanding job, the better your final table will look and feel. Once everything is smooth to the touch, wipe down all the wood with a damp cloth to remove any dust. This ensures the stain and sealant will adhere properly. Let's build the base. This is the frame that will support our tabletop. We're going to create a simple, strong rectangular frame. Take 2 of your longer pallet planks and cut them to the desired length of your table. Let's say, for example, 70 inches. Then cut 2 shorter pieces for the width, maybe around 35 inches. Arrange these 4 pieces into a rectangle. Use your drill and 3-inch wood screws to join them at the corners. I recommend pre-drilling the holes to prevent the wood from splitting. Check that your corners are square using a speed square. Now add 1 or 2 support beams across the middle of the frame for extra stability. This will prevent the tabletop from sagging over time. With the frame built, it's time to create the legs. I'm using 4x4 posts cut to a standard table height, which is about 29 inches. To attach them, place a leg in each inside corner of the frame. Make sure they are perfectly vertical. Clamp them in place if you can. Then, from the outside of the frame, drive several 3-inch screws through the frame and into the leg. Use at least 2 screws on each side of the corner for a really secure hold. Wiggle the legs to make sure they're solid. If there's any movement, add more screws. A sturdy base is the foundation of a long-lasting table. Now let's assemble the beautiful tabletop. Lay out your sanded planks on a flat surface to decide on the arrangement. I like to mix up the wood tones and textures for a more rustic, interesting look. Make sure the best looking side of each plank is facing up. Once you're happy with the layout, place your table base upside down on top of the planks. Center it carefully. Now, from underneath, drive your 2-inch screws up through the support beams of the frame and into the tabletop planks. Space your screws every 6 to 8 inches to ensure every plank is securely attached. Be careful not to use screws that are too long, or they'll poke through the top. We're in the home stretch. It's time for the finishing touches that will protect your table from the elements and make it truly shine. First, decide on your finish. Do you want a natural wood look, a dark stain, or even a pop of color with paint? Whatever you choose, make sure it's rated for exterior use. Apply your stain, or paint evenly with a brush or rag, following the direction of the wood grain. Let it dry completely, according to the manufacturer's instructions. You might need a second coat for a richer color. The final and most important step is protection. Apply at least 2 to 3 coats of a clear, UV-resistant outdoor sealant, like a polyurethane or spar urethane. This will protect the wood from sun, rain, and temperature changes. Lightly sand between coats for the smoothest possible finish. Before we wrap up, here are a few extra tips. When selecting pallets, always choose the cleanest, sturdiest ones you can find. Avoid any that look oily or have chemical spills. Also, a pallet buster tool can be a great investment if you plan on doing more pallet projects. It saves a lot of time and effort, and when you're sanding, don't be afraid to really go for it. The smoother the wood, the better it will take the stain, and the more professional it will look. Let's also talk about some common mistakes to avoid. A big one is not pre-drilling your screw holes, which almost always leads to split wood, especially with older, drier pallet planks. Another mistake is skipping the sealant. An outdoor table without a proper protective coat will warp, crack, and discolor in just one season. Finally, don't rush the dismantling process. Being too aggressive can damage the very boards you need for your project. Patience is your best friend here. So, let's quickly recap what we did. We sourced our heat-treated pallets, carefully dismantled them, and sanded every piece to perfection. We then built a solid frame and attached sturdy legs. Next, we assembled our unique tabletop and secured it to the base. Finally, we applied a beautiful stain and several coats of outdoor sealant to protect our hard work from the weather. And just like that, you have a custom-built outdoor dining table, ready for years of family dinners and get-togethers. I hope this tutorial inspired you to tackle your own pallet project. It's an incredibly rewarding process to take something discarded and turn it into a beautiful, functional piece of furniture. If you build your own table, I would absolutely love to see it. Tag me in your photos on social media. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more DIY projects just like this one. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Happy building, and I'll see you in the next one.